My name is Mona. I'm glad to be here with you today. Now let's get started. Our presentation today will be about punctuation. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what is punctuation and is it important? For the first question, we have the following definition. Punctuation is a courtesy designed to help readers understand a story without stumbling, to underline meaning and prevent awkward misunderstandings between reader and writer. As for the importance of punctuation, we learned that punctuation separates sentences, shows us when to pause and where to place emphasis, thus clarifies the meaning of the sentence. The following example shows us that punctuation can change the entire meaning of a sentence. For instance, you can say, some people find inspiration in cooking their families and their dogs. Or you can say, others find inspiration in cooking their families and their dogs. The comma makes all the difference. To put it in a context where you as a student can relate to, we want you to think about your writing exam and how is it graded. Now, another question for you. Ask yourself how many punctuation marks you know already, and can you write them down? In total, there are 14 well-known punctuation marks, and they are categorized into 5 groups. Group number 1, we have period, question mark, and exclamation mark. 2, comma, semicolon, and colon. Number 3, dash, the hyphen. Number 4, brackets, braces, and parentheses. Number 5, apostrophe, quotation marks, and ellipses. In our presentation today, we're just going to cover the first and the second group. On the first group, we have period, question mark, and exclamation mark. They are used at the end of a sentence. To begin with, we have the period, which is also called the full stop. It's placed at the end of declarative sentences. For example, Sarah went to the market. Full stop. Also, it's used after abbreviation. Her son was born on December. The short form of December is followed by a full stop. As for the question mark, it indicates a direct question when placed at the end of a sentence. When did Sarah leave for the market? Question mark. The exclamation point is used to indicate excitement, either positive or negative. Wait, don't take another step. I can't believe she could say that. Also used to emphasize a point. Bad drivers make me furious. What a gorgeous house. Now, we move to the second group, which is a bit more complicated, so you need to pay extra attention here. We have the comma, semicolon, and colon. Now, for the semicolons, they are used to show the link between two connected phrases. Ahmed was hurt. He knew his friend only said it to upset him. So, when we join the two sentences, because there is a connection between them, we can't use a comma. It would be too weak, and a full stop would be too strong. So the best choice is to use a semicolon. Also, we used it to divide up items in a list when they have a complex structure, as in multiple citation. When you cite, you can write the first resource, then use a semicolon and the second one and the next. So to divide up the items, you use a semicolon. We move now to colons. Colons are used to introduce explanation. For example, the meeting was postponed, colons, the dean was ill. The second part, the dean was ill, explains the first part. That's why they are joined with colons. Second, to start a list. Example, 3 aspects were identified, colons, and then you begin your list. Third, to introduce a quotation. Example, as the Duchess of Windsor said, colons, and then you begin your quotation. Colons are used in the salutation of formal letters. You begin your letter with Dear Sir, colon. Finally, colons are used for expressing time in figures. Example, 1 colons 30 a.m. Now, in this slide, we're going to talk about the comma, arguably one of the most used punctuation marks. So, you have to pay attention. We have a lot to remember. The first thing, we have comma between independent clause. Usually, a comma separates two independent clauses when they are connected by a certain coordinating conjunction. For example, and, but, or, nor, or for. However, if the clauses are very short, no comma is needed. The example is, I wanted to watch a movie after dinner, comma, but I couldn't tell her as I was confused about her reaction. Second, comma after introductory clauses, phrases, and expression. Some expression, when it placed at the beginning of the sentence, requires a comma after them. For example, before start riding it, comma, you should read the instruction. However, comma, Alex will play in the next match. Next, we have serious commas, are used to separate multiple items of the same category in a series. These items can be series of words, phrases, or clauses. For example, we brought pizzas, comma, burgers, comma, chocolate, comma, and a chocolate cake on tour. Next, also we have comma before tag question, usually reassuring statement of a statesman's overall idea. They are ready to go, comma, aren't they? Next, comma in names and dates. Commas are used to separate names of places and date. For example, he was born June 24th, comma, 1993, comma, in London. Also, commas are used in the dialogue to set off the indirect speech from the direct speech. For example, I told him, comma, don't go there. Now it's time for you to practice what you have learned. For this activity, you will add the correct punctuation to the following sentences.